Okay, so in today's video about HBAR, we are going to talk about some fantastic bullish news and some potentially great narratives. And then we are going to go on the live chart and see what is going on there. And I do think that soon in Hedera, we are going to see a big move up. So with that said, hi everyone, welcome back. I hope you are having a great time with your family and loved ones. And since the crypto executive order was signed, we had so many narratives, and one big one is actually this thing. The working group will be tasked with developing a federal regulatory framework governing digital assets. Okay, fantastic. Including, you know what, number one priority is stablecoins and evaluating the creation of a strategic national digital asset stockpile. Now, what's the idea behind this thing? Well, previously, Donald Trump promised that he's actually going to create a strategic Bitcoin reserve. Now, it seems like that some people are saying maybe alongside Bitcoin, we are going to have a national digital asset stockpile of potentially some other projects which are US based. That includes, for example, XRP, Cardano, Algorand, and you know it, Hedera Hashgraph HBAR. So it seems like that the narrative of the day is this. However, this is my personal opinion. I'm not really going to get my hopes up because we are going to have something like this. I think that is kind of unlikely. Sure, we can have a strategic Bitcoin reserve, but I don't really see any significant point in having, for example, a strategic XRP and HBAR reserve. I just don't think that's going to happen. But again, this is a narrative and you can actually interpret this at least as a piece of bullish news for HBAR. Now, if you are looking for fantastic news, I think this one is a bit more likely to happen. So what's the idea in here? In a significant development for US cryptocurrency sector, Eric Trump, son of US President Donald Trump, has confirmed, according to The Street, that domestic crypto projects including XRP and HBAR and some others, for example, Algorand and Cardano, are set to enjoy a substantial tax benefit. This is, in my opinion, likely to happen and it will be fantastic. Under the proposed policy, the US-based projects will be exempt from capital gains tax. This is, I promise you, if it's gonna happen, it will bring massive adoption to these projects. And they continue by saying, providing a stark contrast to non-US projects, which will face a whopping 30% tax on their gains. Now, I'm sure a lot of you know it because the audience of my channel are actually quite mature and old. This writing here is actually music to Wall Street people ears because it seems like that now we are starting to have massive adoption coming from Wall Street and they absolutely love this policy, zero capital gains tax. So this, in my opinion, is actually going to be much more of a bullish news relative than the previous one, which suggests that we could potentially have HBAR in the basket of national digital asset stockpile. Now, if you're looking for some more fantastic news for HBAR that is going to bring hopefully quite a bit of adoption, here is a big one for you. ICP and HBAR are now partnered. And in my opinion, this is absolutely fantastic because both of these projects kind of do have a common vision for decentralization, and they are both aiming to enhance the Web3 ecosystem by providing a scalable, secure, and decentralized infrastructure. And with HBAR focusing on its unique hashgraph consensus and ICP providing an internet-scale blockchain platform, together they could actually leverage each other's strength to expand their ecosystem offering. This, in my opinion, in the future can cause massive adoptions. And I know maybe this is not going to create as much of a bullish narrative as the other news, but from my point of view at least, this is huge. So overall, fantastic news for HBAR, and in the live chart we are also looking great. You see, in the previous video I talked about this structure, which in my opinion does look quite like a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we said we are going to have another move on the upside into wave 5. Now, here's a very important point. In my opinion, our impulse for our wave 5 odds are that didn't actually start from this point. Instead, I'm gonna argue because this is an ABC zigzag and it doesn't really seem like an impulse. Our main move on the upside into wave 5 may have started from this point about, let's say, 25.5 cents. Now, based on that, I can tell you, well, okay, this is a very strong move up, which is a very important characteristic of an impulsive structure. And followed by that, we are having a very slow and choppy move on the downside. And let's just do a quick comparison. Okay, how long is the current move down taking? About, let's say, 220 candlesticks. On the other hand, this move up took us only around 80 candlesticks. So what's the messaging here? Despite having way more than enough time, it seems like that bears are failing to pull the price all the way back down to these levels, which means, well, bulls still do have the upper hand. So what is it that I'm trying to say? In my opinion, there's a decent chance that we are on our way to complete the subwaves for this wave 5 right in here, and this might be 5 wave up, into a wave 1, followed by that a correction for wave 2, and after our correction is over, or maybe it's over already, we're gonna get a big move up into wave 3, 4, 5. So in terms of Elliott waves, I believe we are looking absolutely magnificent. What about classic patterns? Well, let's just go around here, and maybe it's best to put the chart on regular scale. There we go. I see this pattern, and I think, again, in terms of classic pattern, that's kind of fair enough. This might be a triangular structure. You see, this is the higher line, and this is going to be our lower line. And if you want to know what are the targets for this thing, well, okay, you should measure the height of your pattern starting from, let's say, here to about this high, and we must put this at our breaking point. Now, again, I have said this in many videos. There is no measuring targets in logarithmic chart. I just do not believe that is the correct way of measuring targets. You should first put the chart on regular scale, as I did in here, and then measure your targets, and that will give you about, let's say, a 47, let's say a 50 cents HBAR. So we can definitely argue, look, this is a classic triangular structure, and what do we have right now? Probably a simple pullback, and what's going to happen? A continuation of the move up, which in it we are going to at least reach to somewhere around the 50 cents area. But in my opinion, this can be considered as a minimum target. I believe in the next phase, because it's going to be in terms of Elliott waves into this larger degree wave 3, we are actually going to go quite a bit higher than just 50 cents. So in terms of structures, I just don't think we are having anything to be worried about for now. Everything seems absolutely fantastic and bullish. And in terms of news and narratives, we are definitely bullish there. So I think right now it's just time to calm down and enjoy the ride. And I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in HBAR's price chart. Anyway, if you found any value in my content, I would really appreciate if you like this video and consider subscribing to my channel and follow me on Twitter. And if you want more, maybe you want a complete analysis for your own specific crypto, or maybe you want to learn some decent EA in order to be able to make good money in the markets, you can become a member and ask me anything you want. And until the next video, I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.